Gold participants and listeners from around the world. I'm Kristen Schwartz, licensed midwife and MC for Gold Learning. And I'm here today with Dr. Jacqueline McGrath, and we will talk about the upcoming presentation here at the Gold Neonatal Online Conference. Welcome, Dr. McGrath.
Thank you for having me. It's great to have this experience to talk to your delegates.
It is so wonderful to have you here. And yes, we want to talk about the presentation that you will be having with us here in Gold in just a few more days, right? Coming up here. But before we jump into the topic, can you tell us a little bit about yourself? First, start off, where are you coming in from? From which part of the world are you in today for us?
So I'm in San Antonio, Texas, in the United States. I've actually only lived here for about 7 months. And prior to that, I was at the University of Connecticut in Storrs, Connecticut. So I've been moved around the U.S. a few different times.
So you're basically really new to San Antonio, right? You're still unpacking your boxes?
Yeah, well, we're pretty settled. I moved into, well, I was in a temporary office for a little while, but now
Uh-huh.
we're in our real space because they renovated all of the building here at the School of Nursing, and we're actually celebrating our 50th anniversary as a School of Nursing. So there's a lot of
Ooh.
exciting events happening here right now.
Wonderful. 50 years. What a great anniversary. How wonderful. It must be very exciting to be part of that.
Yes, it's been kind of fun. It's been great because I've gotten to know a little bit more about San Antonio a little
Right.
quicker because there's been a lot of events.
Wonderful. Good. Now, so before coming to San Antonio, and please also talk about your work you're doing now, but tell us a little bit about yourself and your professional background and what kind of research and work you're involved in today as well.
So I've been a neonatal nurse for almost 35 years. And over the course of my career, I advanced my education. I also am a neonatal nurse practitioner. And my work has mostly centered around preterm infant development, around feeding readiness, some massage kinds of interventions, but mostly interventions that would engage parents and have them be more of an active participant in their baby's life, which is really leads right into my presentation in helping me to really think about what this early life experience is for a preterm infant and how that might, from everything that we can tell in the research, affect them for the rest of their life. So having really a different beginning, trying to help them have maybe a more normal beginning is so important for the preterm infant. And so a lot of my work has centered around that. I've been involved very much in the National Association of Neonatal Nurses here in the United States. And through that association, I'm actually the co-editor for Advances in Neonatal Care, which is our journal for our association. And actually, very soon we'll be celebrating the 20th anniversary of the journal. And we're very excited about the progress we've made through getting out scholarly work to affect care in the newborn intensive care environment.
Congratulations on the 20th anniversary of the journal. How wonderful. And also how wonderful that kind of work you are doing there with the parents. I'm glad you're presenting on this topic here with us today, and we're going to go into the topic a little bit more. But I would like to say it is wonderful that you're involving and you're doing research on this and you're involving the parents and their experience and the experience of the preterm baby and putting those together because as I understand, on the hospital floor in the NICU, we are so focused on what procedure has to be done, on the physical state of the baby, of the preterm baby, and all that is going on, and having now the parents involved in this and seeing how important this is for the brain development. That's just wonderful.
Yeah, it's very exciting. It kind of feels to me like we've gone full circle. You know,
Hmm.
the baby really is belongs to those parents,
Right.
and really understanding that it's not what I would say not a nice thing to do. It's the thing we must do
Must
is
do.
keep these babies and parents together on a more regular basis and help these parents to become fully engaged with their infant.
Absolutely. I read, I think in your bio it was that you developed a program that's called the NICU Play Program for parents and their hospitalized preterm infants. Can you tell us what that is? Explain a little bit.
So the NICU Play program is a program for actually more extremely early born infants who often tend to spend 6 to 10 weeks in the newborn intensive care or more. And a lot of the massage and touch programs that have been developed or studied prior to my project were mostly started when the baby was nearer to discharge. And to me, there were many weeks often that were missed that we could didn't increase the parents' engagement with their infant. So the NICU Play program to me, and I used the acronym Play loosely because I felt that parents don't get the opportunity to play, and that's the way parents interact with an infant or a child. And so play is a really important mechanism for learning. And so helping the parent to actually have an appropriate way. What's the right way to play with a preterm infant? And showing them good, positive ways that they can interact with their baby and doing that and changing it over time as the infant chronologically gets older, but also developmentally gets older.
Oh, wonderful. It must be also so, number one, it's wonderful for the baby, of course, and developmentally, but also for the parents having a way to, interact and communicate and be with their baby in a meaningful way, So I can only imagine the wonderful work you're doing there for the family, for the entire family there. That's wonderful. Now let's talk a little bit about your presentation, the implications of early life experience and brain development in the preterm infant. So talk a little bit about what you will be presenting on.
So my presentation starts out with a little bit about all of the early life experiences, the implications of being born early and then and entering the newborn intensive care unit, where of course we need to save their life, but also really have the best outcomes. And as the newborn intensive care unit has become a much more, likely that the baby will survive, what can we do now to increase the quality of that child's life? And how do we recognize that all the time that the baby's in the newborn intensive care, that brain is developing and in developing at a very fast rate. And there's so much chance for us to really be providing the most critical items for them to be interacting with and providing their parents, but really being developmentally what is appropriate for this baby at this gestational age, postmenstrual age, so that we're really providing an environment that increases their learning. I always say a little stress is a good thing. If we have a little stress, then you're likely to learn. So, learning is an important piece for these infants. So, looking at this whole idea of nature, what they come with genetically, and nurture, what happens after they're born, and how do we help them to progress to have the most healthy outcomes.
How beautifully said, how we help them to progress to have the best outcome there. That is absolutely wonderful. I'm very much looking forward to this presentation. Quickly, before I let you go, what are you hoping, if you had to pick one or two things here, what are you hoping our delegates will take away from this presentation?
Probably my biggest hope is that they go away thinking about how everything they do matters, and
Mm,
that we have to really step back and remember what's going on with brain development, where this
mm.
baby is, particularly since they're preterm, but understanding how much that brain is changing right before our very eyes. Newborn intensive care providers truly are brain shapers,
Huh,
and
yes.
I didn't coin that, someone else did very long time ago, but I think it's a term that we really need to be cognizant of in our caregiving.
Thank you so much, Dr. McGrath, for sitting down here with me and answering some of my questions and giving us a wonderful overview of the presentation here for us at Gold.
It was great. I can't wait to give the whole presentation.
Thank you so much. And to our listeners now, the presentation Implications of Early Life Experience and Brain Development in the Preterm Infant is part of the Gold Neonatal Online Conference here, and the presentation will be live on June 17th. For more information on this presentation and when it will be held in your time zone and on the other presentations in the conference, please visit goldneonatal.com. Thank you everyone for listening. Bye bye.